This is Faheem Mustafa. Welcome you to dietinmedics.com. Subscribe and share our channel to get continuous updates on our upcoming lectures on evidence-based nutrition. Today we will learn about a very interesting topic, that is a DASH diet. DASH diet is an eating pattern that reduces the blood pressure. This diet is rich in three important minerals, that is potassium, magnesium, and calcium, and it's also low in fat and high in fiber. We'll discuss the mechanism how these minerals lower the blood pressure at the end of this lecture. But in the start, we'll discuss the dietary recommendations in the DASH diet. According to research, use of DASH diet for 8 weeks. Use of this diet, DASH diet, for 8 weeks reduces the systolic blood pressure by 5.5 millimeter Hg and diastolic blood pressure by 3 millimeter Hg. So let's start the dietary recommendations in the DASH diet. And number one is fruit grains recommendation. The recommendation for grains in the DASH diet is we must take 6 to 13 servings of grains per day. And if we talk about the serving size, one bread is one serving. One bread is one serving, and 6-inch one chapati is one serving. In Pakistan, usually 12-inch chapati is used. So a 12-inch chapati consists of 2 servings. So 6-inch chapati, if we are taking 6-inch chapati, so that is equivalent to 1 serving. Half cup cooked rice is 1 serving, and half cup cereals, that is equivalent to 1 serving. So grains recommendation is 6 to 13 servings per day. And if we talk about vegetables, the vegetable recommendation is 3 to 6 servings per day. And the serving size for vegetable is 1 cup raw or uncooked vegetable is 1 serving, and half cup cooked veggies 1 serving. And vegetable juice, the serving size of vegetable juice is 6 ounce. 6 ounce vegetable juice is 1 serving. And if we convert ounce into ml, so 1 ounce is equivalent to 30 ml. Approximately it's equivalent to 30 ml. So total ml will be equivalent to 130 ml of vegetable juice is 1 serving. And if you convert into cups, so it will be 3/4 cup of vegetable juice is 1 serving. So the next recommendation we discuss is fruits recommendation, and the fruit recommendation in the DASH diet is 4 to 6 servings per day. And the serving size for fruits is 1 medium fruit is equivalent to 1 serving. So for fruits, recommendation is 4 to 6 servings per day. And if we talk about the serving size, 1 medium fruit is 1 serving, and half cup fresh canned or frozen fruit is equivalent to 1 serving, and 1/4 cup dried fruit is 1 serving. So the serving size of fruit juice is similar to vegetable juice. 6 ounce fruit juice is equivalent to 1 serving. So the recommendation for protein. Recommendation for protein is 1 to 3 servings per day, and the serving size for protein is 3 ounce protein. That can be beef, that can be poultry, and that can be fish. So that is equivalent to 3 ounce of poultry, beef, or meat is equivalent to 1 serving. And the recommendation for nuts, seeds, or legumes. Nuts, seeds, or legumes is 3 servings per week or 1 serving per day. And the serving size for nuts is half cup. Nuts is 1 serving. 2 tablespoon seeds is 1 serving, and half cup cooked legumes, that can be kidney bean or soya bean, that is a half cup cooked legumes, that is a 1 serving. So in the last food group is fat and fat-free milk. Number 6 is fat, and the recommendation for fat is 2 to 4 servings per day, and the serving size for fat is 1 teaspoon oil or margarine is 1 serving, and 1 tablespoon salad dressing is 1 serving. And the last one is fat-free milk, and the recommendation, the serving size for fat-free milk is 2 to 4 servings per day. Two to 4 servings per day, and the serving size is 1 cup milk or yogurt. So these are the dietary recommendations of the DASH diet. That for the grains, the recommendation is 6 to 13 servings per day, and for vegetables, the recommendation is 3 to 6 servings per day, and for fruits, the recommendation is 4 to 6 servings per day. For protein and nuts, it's 1 to 3 servings per day for protein. That can be meat, can be fish, that can be poultry. And for nuts, seeds, and legumes, the recommendation is 3 servings per week, and 1 serving per day can be taken. And the last one, for fat and fat-free milk, the recommendation is 2 to 4 servings per day. We have to include all these food groups into our diet. Just incorporate these servings, these recommendations into diet, and you will see the amazing, surprising results in reducing the blood pressure. Let's discuss how these minerals like potassium, magnesium, and calcium reduce the blood pressure. So in the start, we'll discuss about the potassium, that how the potassium reduces the blood pressure. The mechanism how the potassium reduces the blood pressure is still uncertain. Several researches have done on the role of potassium in reducing the blood pressure. But these researches showed that potassium reduces the blood pressure through vasodilatory mechanism, through endothelium dependent vasodilation. Through endothelium dependent vasodilation. And the primary function of endothelial cell is to synthesize is vasodilation, and endothelial cells do the vasodilation, play a role in the vasodilation through the synthesis of nitric oxide from essential amino acid L-arginine through the use of enzyme, that is nitric oxide synthase. Endothelial cell synthesized nitric oxide from L-arginine to the enzyme nitric oxide synthase, and this nitric oxide is the best vasodilator. It dilates the blood vessels. The role of magnesium is similar to the potassium in reducing the blood pressure. Magnesium reduces the blood pressure through vasodilatory mechanism. It increases the synthesis of prostacyclins and nitric oxide, and both prostacyclins and nitric oxide reduce the blood pressure through vasodilation. So now discuss how the calcium reduces the blood pressure. The third point is how the calcium reduces the blood pressure, and it just shows that increased intake of high fat dairy has no effect on the blood pressure, and increased intake of calcium supplementation also has no effect on your reducing the blood pressure. Only the low fat dairy reduce the blood pressure by 13%. High fat dairy and calcium supplementation has no effect in reducing the blood pressure. So the research also shows that the peptides from the dairy protein act as ACE inhibitor. ACE is angiotensin converting enzyme, and this inhibition of ACE angiotensin converting enzyme will inhibit the RAS mechanism, that's the renin angiotensin system. Inhibition of angiotensin converting enzyme will inhibit the RAS mechanism, renin angiotensin system. As a result, vasodilation occurs. Peptides from the dairy protein reduces the blood pressure through vasodilation by the inhibition of angiotensin converting enzyme. So to understand this mechanism, we need to understand this RAS mechanism. So let's discuss, let's overview how the RAS mechanism, what the RAS mechanism do. Renin angiotensin system regulates the blood pressure. When in our body blood pressure decreases, when there is a low blood pressure in our body, juxtaglomerular cells in our kidney secrete renin, and the renin enzyme convert angiotensinogen to angiotensin 1, and the angiotensin 1 is converting to angiotensin 2 through this ACE enzyme, that is the angiotensin converting enzyme. And angiotensin 2 that do the vasoconstriction. As a result, blood pressure increase. When there is a low blood pressure in our body, juxtaglomerular cells from in the kidney release enzyme, secrete enzyme, that's the renin, and renin convert angiotensinogen into the angiotensin 1, and then angiotensin 1 is converting to the angiotensin 2 through this angiotensin converting enzyme, and the angiotensin 2 that do the vasoconstriction. As a result, blood pressure increase. Now the peptides from the dairy protein has an inhibitory effect on this ACE, angiotensin converting enzyme. As a result, angiotensin 2 will not produce, And when the angiotensin 2 will not produce, as a result vasoconstriction will not occur, and this is the point that it leads to the vasodilation, and it lowers the blood pressure. So the peptides from the dairy protein that actually inhibit this enzyme, as a result angiotensin 2 will not produce, and that lead to the vasodilation, and that lowers the blood pressure. So let's have a recap what we have discussed up till now. That DASH diet reduces the blood pressure. It's an eating pattern that reduces the blood pressure, and the dietary recommendations of the DASH diet include that we must take grains, that 6 to 13 serving of grains per day. We need to intake vegetables, 3 to 6 servings of vegetables per day. Fruit servings, that includes 4 to 6 servings of fruits per day. And for dairy protein and low fat dairy, and fat serving is 2 to 4 servings per day, and the protein serving is 1 to 3 servings per day, and the serving size of nuts, seeds and legumes is 3 servings per week, or 1 serving per day. We need to include all these serving, all these recommendations, all these food groups in our diet, and you will see the amazing surprising result in lowering your blood pressure. And the important minerals like potassium, magnesium and calcium reduces the blood pressure, as we discussed earlier, that potassium and magnesium reduce the blood pressure through vasodilatory mechanism. It dilates the blood vessels and reduce the blood pressure. And the peptides from the dairy protein reduce the blood pressure because it has an inhibitory effect on this ACE enzyme. It inhibits the RAS mechanism, that is renin-angiotensin system, that increase the blood pressure. So when there is the inhibition of this mechanism, as a result vasodilation will occur. So if you like our video, subscribe and share our channel, and thanks for watching. See you in the next lecture.